Hi, friends. Thank you for joining me for Thrive Time Part 3, exploring ways to take care of ourselves and support others in these trying times of dealing with the coronavirus. I don't know about you, but these last few weeks, my emotions have been all over the place. It's an emotional time. And how do we deal with all of these different feelings that we have right now? A friend shared a wonderful article with me that I found so helpful in dealing with these emotions, and I wanted to share some of this information with you. The article was an interview with David Kessler in the Harvard Business Review, who worked for many years with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who is very well known for developing the 5 stages of grief. And her work has been very, very helpful for many people dealing with grief. The first step in dealing with any strong emotion or feeling is naming. What is it that we're feeling? Identifying what this feeling is. And Kessler says that much of what we're feeling right now is grief. And there are different kinds of grief. We've lost what's normal for us. We've lost our sense of connection. We have a fear of the economic toll that this situation is going to take on us. And we're not real sure how to deal with this. There's also anticipatory grief, and that's knowing that something bad is coming, a storm is brewing, but we don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know what to expect, so we don't know how to plan for it. And that plays havoc with our sense of security and our sense of safety. Thankfully, in this article, Kessler offers a number of wonderful strategies for helping us to deal with these feelings that we're having. And the first one is to understand the stages of grief that we're going through. The first is denial. This virus isn't so bad. This isn't going to affect my life. People are blowing it out of proportion. I know it's not going to be as bad as people are predicting it's going to be. That's denial. The second is anger. Do you mean I can't leave the house? You mean I can't do the things that I love? You're taking away everything that's important to me. The third stage is bargaining. Okay, so I'll physically distance for 2 weeks and I'll do everything that you ask, and things are going to go back to normal then if I do this, right? And the fourth stage is sadness. I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know how it's going to affect me. And the fifth stage is acceptance. Okay, this is real. This is happening. How am I going to proceed with my life? And not surprisingly, it's this fifth stage, which is where we find our power. It's where we start to regain control. Okay, this is happening, but what can I do? I can physically distance. I can learn to use technology to connect with people, to still do my job. It's important to know that these 5 stages aren't necessarily linear, and we don't move through stage 1 and then stage 2 and then stage 3 and then stage 4. We may cycle in and out of them, but having a sense of what they are and what they look like can help us to understand where we are in moving through this process. Another helpful strategy that Kessler offers is to identify what can we control and what can't we control, and to let go of what we can't control. I can't control what my neighbor is doing, but I can stay 6 feet away and I can wash my hands. Those are things that we can control. He also talks about anticipatory grief, and when we're worrying about something and we don't know what it's going to be like and we don't know what to expect, we can create the worst possible image in our minds. And when we do that, it's important to also then to create the best possible image, to physically think about what's the best possible outcome here, and to find a balance between the worst that could happen and the best that can happen. And when we don't know what's going to happen, we can't predict the future, we don't know what to expect, it's very helpful to stay in the present, to focus on what are we experiencing right now. If you've done any work with mindfulness, you know that that's a big focus of being mindful. The meditation work that we've done together is a wonderful way to stay focused in the present. A very simple thing that you can do to stay focused in the present is to just pause and pay attention to your physical surroundings. Name 5 things that are in the room with you. Touch the table. Feel the chair. Notice how it feels to be sitting in that chair. Focus on what's happening in the here and now, right at this moment. And his third strategy is probably my favorite, and that's stock up on compassion. We're not all manifesting the fear and anxiety that we feel in the same way, and we don't even all feel it at the same time. But the more that we can show compassion and kindness to others as they're experiencing fear and anxiety, the more we can help them to deal with that, and the better we feel. I think you probably all have experienced that positive feeling that you get after you've been kind to someone, or you've been generous, or you've been compassionate. It benefits us as well as it benefits the other people. And thankfully, Kessler offers hope for the future at the end of his article. He spent 10 years in the hospital business and has a pretty good perspective. And he says, we're doing the right things to deal with this, and we will survive this crisis. And we also will find meaning in what we've experienced. And this was what he added to Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grieving. It's the 6th stage, finding meaning. We've already started to find meaning in this experience. We're learning new ways to connect using technology. We're learning new ways to work. We're really experiencing the healing power of being in nature. And we will continue to find meaning as we move through this experience. I know this has been a little longer chat than we've had in the past, but I felt this information was so important and I really wanted to share it with you. If you want to read more about this, you can look for the article that Discomfort You're Feeling is Grief in the Harvard Business Review and read more about it. I hope you can stay with us and spend a few minutes meditating. And if you can, I invite you to get comfortable in your chair, wherever you're sitting, to start to take some deep breaths in and out. And on your next exhale, softly close your eyes. Use any of the techniques you may have tried before that help you to maintain a deep, steady breath, counting or saying in and out. And notice how your body's feeling. Starting at the top of your body, scan down your body, paying attention to any place where you may be feeling some extra tension or stress. Try to consciously relax those parts of your body. Now pay attention to your thoughts as they may come into your mind. Notice them and let them go. And anytime a thought comes into your mind, just notice it and then quietly let it go. And continue with your deep breathing. And we'll do this together for about a minute. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Give yourself some credit for taking this time. And until we are together again, be well. And remember, we're all in this together.